An artist on a mission. Abhisheka was always passionate about nature and wildlife. While doing her bachelor's in fine arts in painting, she lived at an urban wildlife rescue and rehabilitation center on the outskirts of Bangalore. There, she found herself completing her class projects in a unique way by sketching the animals in the rehabilitation center and the many wild plants found on campus. Her paintings captured the distress and pain that wildlife in cities went through because of rapid development and destruction of natural landscapes. Suddenly, Abhisheka found herself interested in nature conservation and the intersection between the arts and science. Later, Abhisheka moved to the beautiful foothills of the Agastyamalai Hills in Tamil Nadu, where she planned to do her master's project research. Her very first ecological research project was on wetland birds. Here, she learned not only about local wildlife and threats to nature, but also met many villagers, engaged rural children in nature education programs, took part in local festivals, learned about local art forms, and absorbed the local culture. These diverse experiences influenced her to apply her knowledge and skills from the arts to conservation. A trained classical dancer, Abhisheka is also keen to blend movement with conservation. I most often collaborate with folk dance performers or contemporary dancers to use dance to spread the message of conservation, she says during an interview with Team Youth for Nature. During my engagement with school students, I explain to the dancer or choreographer which aspect of ecology I would like to teach the children, and the dancer gets kids to observe the natural elements and come up with movements based on them. The children are taught to pay attention to how leaves dance in the breeze or how a praying mantis cleans itself. These motions of nature are then converted into dance moves and sequences. Through observing the world around them in preparation for dance, children also learn to observe nature and its little nuances. One of the most exciting projects Abhisheka took on was a movement-based performance on the ecological importance of fig trees. The project was a collaboration between artists and scientists, and the participants did not need to have any prior dance training. The performers became the flowers, fruits, insects, birds, and the fig tree itself to showcase pollination, seed dispersal, and other functions of the ecosystem, Abhisheka explained. It was a wonderful experience, and the performers loved it too. Dance is not her only means of communicating conservation, however. Abhisheka regularly does nature illustrations to create educational materials and conduct nature workshops involving, you guessed it, sketching and crafts. She encourages participants to work with natural materials and even waste to create creative bits of art. Now that's a real-world application of reduce, reuse and recycle, isn't it? Apart from workshops, Abhisheka enjoys working on community murals where groups of people get together to paint a nature-themed wall mural, a large piece of art, and engage in interesting discussions about nature. My goal is to get people to connect to nature as well as do art. Therefore, I try to simplify both the arts as well as the sciences, says Abhisheka. Collaboration is critical when it comes to combining the arts and the sciences. According to Abhisheka, artists can collaborate with scientists to convey complex scientific information in a creative, comprehensible manner to the larger public. Indeed, in India, it is rare to find individuals specializing in these two diverse fields, but increasing numbers of passionate people are finding ways of bridging the gap. Abhisheka also suggests ways for artists to contribute to conservation, creating illustrations for nature-related storybooks, contributing to nature education materials, holding programs for local schools and colleges, and joining environmental campaigns are some of these ways. By including nature-related themes in their own arts practice, artists can influence people in their network, she adds. Abhisheka also spoke about her love for street theatre, which has been used for decades to discuss social and political messages, and has succeeded in mobilizing communities. She remembered one of her favorite street theatre performances, Mallegalalli Madu Magalu, Bride of the Hills. This night-long Kannada play was staged at the Kalagram campus of the National School of Drama, Bengaluru. When asked about her favorite part of the play, Abhisheka said, "Apart from the splendid performance and music, what I found extremely creative was the way life-size sets were designed outdoors using natural elements. The sets made the audience feel like they were sitting right in the middle of a village in the western Ghats of Karnataka. What was extremely interesting was how the art director, Shashidhar Adappa, used nature on campus as settings for the play. He used the campus water body as a setting for scenes on the banks of the Tunga River, while the campus bamboo grove became the rainforests of the Western Ghats. The audience moved from location to location as the play proceeded. It felt just like village life. Thousands of people from across the state attended the play, immersed in the natural setting and captivating story. Abhisheka leaves us with a positive message. This is the kind of performance that's required to spread conservation messages, performances that attract thousands of people from all kinds of backgrounds and age groups. After all, conservation, much like raising children, does take a village.